What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pass the Mic once again. Mike Passamonte and Carl Graham, your weekly Wednesday night sports talk show, NFL sports talk show now. We've cut it down to an hour. We're just going to do NFL. You could, if you want, comment on anything you want, ask any questions you want. We are live from 7 to 8. Carl, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Everything's looking good with football in some parts and some bad. We got some bad news, but it doesn't look too bad. But, you know, it's part of our new style of life, if that's what you want to call it. And I think everybody's going to deal with this. But I'm excited. Another week of football, another week of football fantasy and picks. Let's get it rolling.
Yeah, you're referring, of course, to the COVID positive tests with Tennessee. I don't think it's going to be a problem. They're going to play the game either Monday or Tuesday. Not going to be a huge problem, but it is here. Yeah. Let's talk about one thing first of all. And this I got to get off my chest, especially with what's going on tomorrow night. I want you to say right now, to the hundreds of thousands of people that are going to be watching this
The millions.
on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, your team sucks as bad as my team. Every single year going into the season, you would think your team was going to be this 11-5 team every year. And yeah, I get optimistic. I say 7-9. I'll even say make the playoffs. But you make like the Jets are going to win 3 and the Broncos are going to win 10 every year. And every single year, they're within a game of each other. Last year, they were both 7-9. The year before, they were both top 5 picks. This year, they're fucking both. They're both 0-3. I mean, your team sucks. I don't care about your Super Bowl with Manning. Yes, it's great. Congratulations. Long time ago now. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Your team is as bad as the Jets.
Well, let's reverse this a little bit. You always say it's the Jets' year. The Jets got a shot at the division. You know, you got all that. I mean, it's, you know, you got Sam's a great quarterback. He's the best in the division, which you know he's not, and he's garbage.
I didn't like the coach, though. I didn't like the coach.
Okay, the Jets suck.
Absolutely.
Broncos got 17 players.
Here we go.
Let me go. 17 hurt, and you know what? We do. But there's 17 players hurt. We haven't had a game yet with our starters.
Who's the Jets wide receiver?
Oh, it don't matter. They all suck.
Who's the Jets running back?
All suck. 2 years now.
Three linemen went down yesterday. So okay. So let me get this straight. The Jets lose all their starters, but they suck anyway. The Broncos lost Hall of Famers, obviously, and now they suck. Yeah, okay. Who did they lose on defense?
Miller, Boy, Vermont. They lost.
Miller. That's it.
And Boy, our cornerback.
Boy.
You know?
Stop it.
It's not about the defense.
The Jets lost Jamal Adams 3 weeks before the season. Mosley was out. Mosley sat out. The Jets lost all their players. The Broncos suck. Here's one thing you got going for you, though. Here's one thing you got going for you, though. One thing you got going for you is the Jets will screw up anything they can screw up, and they will win tomorrow night just so the Broncos get the higher pick in the draft. I guarantee it.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be reversed. I think it's going to be a defensive game on both sides because both of the offense sucks.
The Jets have no defense.
Well, against Broncos, they're going to look perfect. And
maybe
against the Jets, they're going to look perfect. And I think that the Broncos will win probably 14-7. And the Jets will just say goodbye to their head coach. And it's an upside down year for them. And congratulations. Trevor's going to be in a green uniform, I have a feeling.
I've never seen a worse Jets team than this. Like, never.
It's bad.
This is back to the Kotite days. But at least with the Kotite days, they had Keyshawn and they had Corbett and they had some players that were at least, playing well. I've never seen anything like this. They are it's like they're doing it on purpose. But even that, like, the Bengals always have like 1 or 2 players that are really good. Someone who could, they just do nothing well. Nothing well. They don't stop the run. They don't stop the pass. They don't put pressure on the quarterback. They can't throw a pass more than 10 yards. They can't run the ball. Gore will get, his 25 yards in the first half. Everyone will think, whoa, and then nothing. Sam Darnold has been terrible. Terrible. And I told you at the beginning of the year that Gase was the problem, and Gase had to go. If they didn't win, Gase had to go. And you said, does Darnold go? And I told you, if Darnold comes out and he's, just atrocious, then yeah, you got to a high pick, you got to replace him. And that's how it's been. Will it turn around?
Here's the good stuff about both teams. The good thing about the Jets is they got a lot of first-round picks, quite a few.
Yeah.
They got some cap room, and they got quite a few picks, and Bell's going to be gone, which is going to save some cap room. It's not like you're spending a lot of money on Sam, and you're going to
cap is not the problem. The Jets right now with Bell have $30 million under the cap. Right. So cap's not a problem.
They're $30 million under. Bell's going to be gone anyway. You know that. So you're going to save some more money. You're going to have new coaches. There's some hot coaches already in the talks out there. You're going to have, who knows where you're going to go up in the draft. You may get a quarterback, Trevor or Fields, and, so long to Sam.
They're going to get the third. We know the Jets are going to get the third pick.
So
we know that.
On the Denver side, the good news is there's nobody that's really high salary. We have the most under the cap space.
More than the Jets?
Yeah, we're the highest. We're the highest under
Patriots too. Yeah, you're right. Broncos.
There's a lot of room to mess around with, and we only have one more year after this with John Elway and Vic and the coaching staff. They're all tied together for one more year after this. So I think we're not going to get rid of the coaching staff or Elway. We're going to do one more year, and we're going to see what happens. This whole year for the Broncos is a flap between injuries and stuff. But I don't want to say goodbye to Locke yet because I want him to play at least 6-7 games. You need to see him. Sam, this is his second year. Third year, and you got to see what he did, just like Chicago did with Mick Trubisky over there.
Yeah,
you got to see. Locke is 6-2. We haven't seen him play a full season. We're not going to see him full season. There's no reason to. But we got the quarterback's nephew that beat us up, so he's starting this week. So maybe we have a new. Is
that his nephew? That's Mark Griffin's nephew.
Yeah. So
I know his sister was in the lingerie bowl, the lingerie league. She was an incredible quarterback. I knew that. Don't ask me how I knew that. But
Boise State.
It's just awful. It's just that I almost think that Greg Williams is throwing the games just so he could take over as the interim. It's what it seems like because his defense has never been this bad. This is just
horrible.
It's terrible. I mean, Phillip Rivers was 17 for 21. Everyone's open, first of all. Everyone's open. Nobody gets pressure on the quarterback. Anybody can run the ball. Whoever they are can run the ball. Taylor ran all over them last week. The week before, everybody got hurt in San Francisco. And the only good thing about this season is that if there's one and I don't even think the Broncos have played as bad as the Jets. I don't think they have. They were in a couple games. They were in the games at least. The Jets have been 21-7, 21-7, and 21-6, I think, at halftime. Those are their games. It's ridiculous. Whatever. I don't even know what it was this week. But it was like that. The only team as bad as the Jets this year is the Giants. Which is good, which is nice, because I don't have to hear anybody.
Right.
I don't have to hear anybody. I don't have to hear you because your team sucks. I don't have to hear Tommy. I don't have to hear anybody because everyone that I know, their team sucks, which is good. That's the only good thing.
Yeah, that's a positive. No, it's New York-style football this year, and Broncos included. I was wrong with Gase. I stuck up with Gase, and I keep saying,
me too. In the beginning, I did.
And I'm a Gase fan, and I know where I came from with the Gase fan, and it proved me that. He was a coach himself, and he was the best there is quarterback that made Gase move on and do everything. And Gase failed everywhere he went. And with the right people, which I thought was the Jets, he lost the players. It's over. It's not the right people. He just can't do it. He stands there with sunglasses with a smile on his face like he's doing a great job. It's horrible.
It doesn't even when you look on the TV, it doesn't even look like he's the head coach. It looks like he's as a quarterback coach. Like he's just sitting in the corner with his sheet, just looking at it.
Horrible.
I mean, terrible. Absolutely terrible. He's the worst I've ever seen. Worse than Kotite, I think.
One of the worst.
Kotite he's the worst. And can we please stop giving anybody except Von Miller, anybody credit for that Super Bowl except for Peyton Manning? It was not John Elway. He sucks. It was not Gase. He sucks. It was not anybody. It was not Kubiak. Never did anything except for that year. It was nobody but Peyton Manning.
Right.
Made all those players better around him. He had talent. He had talented players, made them all better
It's
around
usually
him. And he's the reason they won the Super Bowl.
it's usually the quarterback. Usually, the quarterback 75% of the time that actually wins the Super Bowl for the team. I mean, we could go back to Pat Mahomes. We could do that. I mean, we could go.
No.
There's different.
Andy Reid has been good his whole career.
Right.
Andy Reid's been good his whole career. He finally got the quarterback and won.
Genius quarterback. He got the
Everybody else, once Manning, before he got there and once he left, the team sucked.
Oh yeah.
And we bring in all these guys saying they're going to be good because they were with that team. No.
No, I agree. I mean, we can't disagree, and I think the whole world agrees that Peyton Manning is one of a kind, and he did what he did through his career. He is the best, and I agree. It's but again, until something pops up that's good enough, neither one of our teams are going to look good in the future. I mean, we have to stack. We have to keep going. I mean, we're young, so is the Jets, but I think they just need. I just think they need that one little. Oh man, look what we got. And
Here's what's going to happen. Wait, let me look. See if this is feasible, because I can predict the future just in this, not in my picks, because I don't even want to talk about them last week. But no, okay. I was going to say something, not going to happen. I was going to say the Bengals are going to win this week, and they'll win next week, and you'll have them in the Super Bowl. But they're not, because they're playing the Patriots next week.
No Super Bowl.
No Super Bowl for them. But look at a team like the Dolphins. Look at a team like Cincinnati. Look at, these teams that, should be terrible, have had injuries, have backup quarterbacks in Miami basically starting, even though Fitzpatrick's a little different than normal backup. He's still not, a franchise quarterback. The Jets could do nothing right. Like, even if you have injuries, usually you could stay in a game. It looks like the Harlem Globetrotters, their games. Like at the half, they're down by at least 2 touchdowns every week. Every week.
You want them to win tomorrow? You want them to cover tomorrow?
If they cover, they win because it's 1 point.
All right. You want them to win? I'll put money on the Broncos. You want to win? You got it. Easy
money for you. Easy. It's a paycheck basically for you. Basically, you make a paycheck if you bet the Broncos. Because I can't see it. I don't care who the quarterback is. I can't see it.
I can't see it.
Garoppolo was on one leg. Couldn't move. He was limping to the huddle every single play, and he couldn't miss.
You know what's good about that? That he couldn't miss and he beat the Jets. The following week, the whole team was hurt, and they destroyed the Giants.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Giants are just as
no
bad.
Quarterback. They put in anybody they wanted in there, and the Giants looked so bad against second string players.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Well, all those players that were hurt for the Giants were hurt for the Jets.
Yeah.
Garoppolo came back out in the second half, and they scored another 20 points. The same thing. The Giants are just as bad, and that's because you can't blame Judge yet because it's his first year.
Oh no.
But I do blame Garrett for the offense.
And you got an offensive coach that can't really.
Garrett he's awful. He's awful.
Yep.
You look right now what Dallas is doing, and
their defense is the problem in Dallas, not their offense.
Yeah, the offense is just lighting it up. But that's another story. So all right, we covered those two. Covered our 2 teams and the Giants. They all suck. Had a bunch of upsets this week. A bunch of upsets. I didn't call any of them. Did you call any of them? I know you're going to say you didn't.
I don't remember. I called them on a point spread. I know I called Detroit on a point spread, but I didn't call them to upset them total.
So, I'm watching NFL Network right before the games come on, and they all have their upset specials. Was it NFL Network or was it Channel 2?
Who is it? Who was it?
Nate Burleson.
That's NFL Network.
NFL Network, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nate Burleson came up with his upset special, and he goes, I know you're all going to laugh at me. Picking Detroit to outright beat Cardinals. And they all died laughing. He goes, watch. And they came back and won.
Yeah.
The thing is with the upsets, all these teams were down. the Bears were down. The Detroit was down. Who did the Lions were down?
Yeah.
And they all came back and won. And against good teams, seemingly good teams.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen, but seemingly good teams. The Falcons, how you don't fire Dan Quinn, I don't understand.
The whole staff.
Yeah, but him, yeah. I mean,
let Matt Ryan coach. Let Matt Ryan coach. Because
you're not talking about blowing a 7-point lead every week. This is a 16-point lead, a 20-point lead the week before in the fourth quarter.
Horrible. We know for sure, and we can put our money on it, that the job's open. That job is open. That they're done.
Do we know that? Do we know that?
If they don't, then Atlanta don't care about anything because that coach had a special chance last year. They gave him one more shot at it. And you know what? After this, let them lose one more. If they lose this coming week, I don't even know who they're playing. But if they lose this week, you could see him go. Gone.
And my daughter just texted me that Darnold had more touchdown passes to the Colts last week than he did the Jets. Absolutely right.
Oh, yeah.
In fact,
right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jets defense, the Indy defense outscored the Jets offense.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But by 9 points. Disgusting. But first of all, go ahead. Go ahead, tell me who the MVP is going to be. Go ahead.
MVP
Go ahead.
At this point?
No. Who? I'm waiting for it. You are just lift your shirt up and show me the Nick Foles picture. Lift your arm up and show me the Nick Foles tattoo.
That's the comeback player.
The Nick Foles tattoo.
I'm a Nick Foles fan.
Listen,
comeback player of the year.
Nick Foles is famous for this. This is what he does. He steps in. Right. He steps in and looks good, and then sucks. He has had 2 years where it was just dream seasons for some reason. For whatever reason, those 2 years were just dream seasons. Every other team he's been on has sucked for him. Sucked.
Yeah.
This is going to be no different. No different.
He's in the right play calling. He got the offense like he did in Philly. Everything's running the same. Last week, if I could recall, I think it was last week or the week before, we were talking about how the wide receiver wanted to get out of that town over there. And
yeah, Robinson.
Yeah, he don't want to leave now.
He'll want to leave. He didn't want to leave because of Trubisky. He wanted to leave because they haven't renegotiated his contract.
Yeah. But now they asked about it. He goes, "We'll worry about that when time comes."
yeah. It's much different when you win it. But all right, so let me ask you, which one is it? Are the Falcons complete choke artists, or is Nick Foles great? It can't be both. Not with a 16-point lead.
Falcons are choke artists because 3 weeks in a row they have done it.
I totally agree. So let's see him win another game.
It's this week. They have a tough team. I think Chicago.
Are they playing the Packers?
No, not yet.
They got to be playing division.
Well,
they got to be playing in the division, right?
I thought so. I thought maybe it was Detroit. But
why can't I find them?
Was with Chicago, and I said this in the beginning.
They're playing the Colts.
They were 3.
The Colts. That's a tough one.
There you go. I said this in the beginning before they were 1-0, 2-0. You said, what's the surprise team that you think will do good? And I said Chicago because their defense is still good enough to win them games. And
that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Right.
Offense that is actually coming through right now.
Right.
They played decent little offensive teams to keep up with them, and they came back twice already. And they won all 3 games, I think, would have combined the 14 or 15 points. They didn't even win.
I can't believe they're 3-0. I can't believe they're 3-0.
They're 3-0.
No, hold on. The second week, they went up 17-0 on the Giants and then let them back in the game and could have blown that game. I'm not giving them credit for that. But, yeah, they're 3-0. It's crazy.
Yeah. They're 3-0. And you know what? And it's the third week. And if the defense could work a little bit, and we're going to see them this week against the Colts with Rivers, if their defense could work a little bit, I think the Foles of that offense could keep up with a couple different teams. I really do.
Honestly, the
think
team
Foles
that
is better than
the team that I said was going to be the surprise team this year was the Colts.
right, and they could be 3-1 long if they win.
And they're looking good. Their defense is looking good. Rivers is looking good. The rookie's looking good. They're looking good.
Yeah, we both agreed on that. We like them because of Rivers and that playbook with that coach. And Rivers, the first week, it's the first week of football without preseason, without any kind of crap going on. He looked a little sloppy against the Chargers defense. But after that, 2 weeks in a row, and now this is his game. If he could beat
A
Chicago,
Chargers defense that held Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs in check. So this is not a bad Chargers defense. You know, we thought it was going to be, even though they lost this week. It's so many upsets this week. But even though we thought they were going to be terrible because the cornerback or safety got hurt. What was the safety, right? Got hurt on the Chargers.
Sure.
But the Chargers aren't a terrible defense, and they held Indy. Listen, I always say this. This is what I always say, and this is absolutely true. You cannot tell what teams are good and what teams are bad unless they listen. You start out 0-4, you know. But all these teams that go, 2-2, 2-1, you have to wait until Halloween. Halloween is when you could tell who's for real and who's not.
Right, it's almost halfway through the season.
And then Thanksgiving is when you could start thinking who's going to make the playoffs and who's not.
Right.
That's when everything changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy, I picked the Chargers too. Florio's chiming in. I did the same thing.
What, this week, the Chargers?
I picked them to beat the Panthers. Yeah.
Me too. All three of us.
Yeah, everybody. The Chargers go and they go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs, and then the Panthers come in and beat them.
Right, without McCaffrey.
0-2.
Without McCaffrey. Yeah.
Without McCaffrey. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's another upset. This is our third upset we're talking about right now, which is the Panthers go in and beat. There really is no home field advantage this year at all. But they go into L.A. and they beat the Chargers 1-16. Nothing much to talk about here. The kid still looks pretty good, though. The quarterback. Herbert, I would stay with him. We didn't talk about it last week because I don't know if we knew at that point why Tyrod Taylor was pulled and sat out the game. And it's because he had some sort of pain in his chest. They bring in an idiot doctor. How this guy's not fired? They're sticking with the doctor because if they don't, they're going to get sued.
Right.
He punctures Tyrod Taylor's lung with the needle. Punctures his lung with the needle. They don't know when he's coming back. That's why after the game last week, Herbert almost beats the Chiefs. And after the game, Joseph, right? Vance Joseph turns around and he's like, Tyrod Taylor's still our quarterback when he's healthy.
Yeah.
And nobody can understand why. It's because the poor guy just got his lung punctured by the doctor.
He didn't lose the job.
You can't. You have to say that. Now, is that true? No.
It's done.
If this takes 2 more weeks, and Herbert's still playing really well, he's not coming back. Taylor. No way.
And he is playing well.
They're
not going to win every game, and they're another young team that has a good defense with a young team around them. They're going to be a good team, and I think Taylor's days are over in San Diego. As much as they're LA.
Yeah, I almost said it too.
Much as he was one and done in Cleveland. He started in Cleveland, he got taken out, and the game was over for him. He knows his role. It just unfortunately it ended out like this. With a punctured lung by the team doctor of all people.
Let me ask you something with Herbert. How weird is it this year? Always said going into the season because of the no practices, because of the no preseason, we said, how tough it was going to be for these rookies. These rookies are incredible. They're running the league at every position. The running backs are amazing. Jefferson tears off for Minnesota the other day. The quarterbacks are playing well. It's amazing. It's crazy that they would have, almost no time with the team, no time in the new system, and they'd still come out like this. It's
natural talent.
I don't know, but why didn't it happen every other year? Every other year, it takes some time. Drew Lock took 2 years to get it. Sam Darnold still doesn't know what team to throw to. I mean, Daniel Jones looks like, Sam Darnold. Why this year, all of a sudden, everyone's just incredible? Joe Burrow looks like he's been playing for 5 years. Sam Darnold looks like he couldn't start for USC right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I don't know the answer, and you don't know the answer, but you're right. You nailed it. I mean, Burrow, and that's another one I made a mistake on. I didn't really think Burrow was going to be good quarterback, and I'm like, you have to see what he does in the NFL. What he has around him, he's a good quarterback. He stays.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot around him.
No, that's what I'm saying. What he has.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I thought you meant like they're making it better. Yeah.
He's a power like quarterback that just keeps on.
His head is there though. His head is there. Same thing with Herbert. Their heads. That's the hardest part. Listen, any guy that gets drafted has the arm. They have the arm. It's they have the head and the accuracy.
Was my main guy out of college. I was following him and I liked him and I stuck by him. He should have won the Heisman 2 years ago. But I knew he was going to be something else in college. He has an arm. He could run. He's big, and he's going to fit the system good. Burrow, I just thought Burrow was one of those quarterbacks, LSU quarterback coming out. He's on Cincinnati. That may kill him, but it's not killing him. What's killing him is the running game. I don't know what's wrong with the running game in Cincinnati, but some reason Burrow's.
Well, this happened last year, though. This happened last year with like the first 5 games. Mixon was just invisible. And then they started dumping off to him. They started running him a little more. I think that the offensive line just isn't what they thought it was.
Right.
He's getting a little bit of time, but he's making a lot happen. The quarterback. You can't do that that doesn't work with the running game. You either block or you don't. I don't know what's going on. We know Mixon is good. He'll start turning on. You have a couple of running backs that's happening to where they just haven't gotten it going yet.
Right.
And I told you this for fantasy wise. I told you this before our draft. You could auto draft your first 4 rounds. Just auto draft your first 4 rounds. That's not what's going to matter. What's going to matter is everything after that, because what we have like 5 or 6 first round picks that are hurt.
Right.
Another 2 that aren't performing at all. Like there's no way to know. It's a crapshoot at that point. No matter how talented you think the guys are, it's a crapshoot. So you might as well just let the computer pick them.
Yeah, and a lot of the talent and a lot of the points and everything's coming from rookies and late round picks. Yeah, a lot of them, and you have one of them on your league with fantasy with Taylor to run in Indianapolis.
I had 2.
Yeah,
I had 2, but I traded one.
And the other one I'm a little iffy about is
he's small. He's good though. He's good. Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
He is good, but he's good. Small. I'm just worried about him getting hurt. That's why I traded him.
Yeah, and he's going to be good, but in that kind of system right now, I think with Mahomes, I think he's untouchable, and they're just going to keep letting Mahomes control the whole game the way he's going to do it.
Yeah, but that kid catches the ball. That's the amazing thing. He's another receiver.
Williams caught the ball more than him the other day.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He did.
No way.
He had more rushing yards.
Like 6 or 7 catches.
It's just they don't use as much as they did last year with the running game. It's disappointing me. I mean, does he have any touchdowns? 1 or 2 on 3 games? I mean, do they use him as they? I don't see them using them as much as I thought. Like,
you know what it is? Here's what it is. Mahomes was hurt a lot last year, so they relied a lot on the. Even when he came back, he was out like 4 games because of the kneecap. Even when he came back, he wasn't himself until the playoff run, and by then they had already established the run. The year before that, when they had Kareem Hunt really doing it, Kareem Hunt was just like Helaire. He was a lot of, draw plays, a lot of passes. They don't have a power run game. They just don't have it. But the running back's going to score a lot of points, fantasy points, just getting yards because you can't cover everyone on that team. Pat Mahomes is just on a different level. Like he's just it's ridiculous. He showed the other night against Jackson that listen. No, you might be good. You might have highlights.
Yeah,
not the same. Not the same.
Yeah, he's on a different level for sure, Mahomes, and I hate to say it because he's in the Denver Broncos division, but to me, as of right now, I can see that he's the franchise player of the NFL.
The NFL's franchise player. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Not just this.
Pat Mahomes controls everything with the NFL right now.
They had I think it was, I forget what the score was. They had a 3rd and 14 from like their 50, the 46, and whoever the announcer was it Joe Buck? Who does the Monday nights?
I forget. I don't really pay.
Oh, it's Levy and Riddick now. Said, "Oh, look, Baltimore's putting up a stop. They could stop him right now and get the ball back." And I said out loud, I'm like, "You are way ahead of yourself. Take it easy." Next, that play snaps the ball, 40-something yard touchdown.
Yeah,
bam to Hill. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is.
So Williams had 2 catches the other night.
Williams had 2 catches.
Yeah. Hilaire had 5 for 70 yards.
Yeah, he gets a lot of in and out cat traffic. He's
a dump off. They line him up in the 5 wide. He's a wide receiver. They line him up. So he's going to get his. I traded him for Devontae Adams. I needed a wide receiver. I needed a top wide receiver. I don't have one. And I'm worried about him getting hurt. I have Chubb. I have Taylor. I didn't need the 3rd wide receiver, the 3rd running back. So I traded him.
Yeah,
but
he's going to be good as long as he stays healthy. But he is small.
He is small.
So is McCaffrey. I mean, they're all small.
No. Not like him.
But
McCaffrey's like 6. McCaffrey's like 6'1", right?
I'm not sure. I thought he was
6 feet.
Back.
No. This guy is he's weird though. He's not like Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen is like 5'6", 5'7", 180 pounds.
And
he's tiny.
Here.
Edwards-Helaire is 5'7". He's 205 pounds.
Solid.
Yeah. But let's keep going through these games. So we only have an hour. I like it so much better now. And big announcement. I don't know if anyone's noticed for the past 2 weeks. It's just been me and you. But next week, we will welcome JP back to the show.
JP back to the show.
His business venture didn't go as planned, so he's coming back, spending time with us. Let's talk about this because this was your team of the year. And we did talk about it a little, but let's get into it a little more. Your team to win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl was the Cardinals.
It was to win.
It was to win the Super Bowl. And the Lions come back and beat them. Yes, Galloway was back. Yes, they were desperate being 0-2, but the Cardinals, for the 2nd straight year, their defense is going to let them down.
I agree.
And they've been playing well, the defense, but late in the game, the defense is going to let them down.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And what really went down, Murray is going to be Murray. He's good. He did what he had to do. It's just the defense let him down. And Detroit Lions, if they're going to do anything, they're going to do defense. And I just figured out, I didn't pick them to upset them, but I did pick them getting, I think it was 3 or 4 points. And I took Detroit because I just think that everything said and done the last couple of weeks with Arizona looking so great, it was time to a downfall. And yes, they lost. And I'm not putting them out. I'm still sticking by them. I'm still going to say that they're going to be one of the better teams.
I agree. But, there's a lot of teams. Look at the Seahawks. Seahawks are 3-0, and they have no defense. No defense at all. Let's talk about that game because that was an amazing game. That was just bomb after bomb after bomb by both teams. It was
two defense.
No defense.
Defenseless teams going at it, and if they don't straighten up, well, first of all, let me say one thing: Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL since day one, and he's just improving.
Yeah.
I think this year he's trying to make one more run for that MVP. He needs, even if he only gets 1 vote for it, he needs to make that run for the MVP, and he's carrying that team.
Well, he gets votes. He gets votes.
He needs to get into that MVP talk, like right there. The last 2 years, it was almost impossible for what happened.
Hold on. No. You're totally going back on what you said last year when you agreed with the guy you thought was the smartest guy on earth, Stephen A. Smith, and I told you he was a moron, where he said after week 8, I think it was week 8 or week 9, and they said, why is everyone talking about Russell Wilson as an MVP this year and no other year? Because they don't want Lamar Jackson to get the MVP. And at the point, in 8-9 games in, Wilson was the absolute MVP.
2 years in a row.
And this is 3 years in a row. Every year.
Yep.
It's not like nobody notices him. He just tends to fall back to the pack at the end and coast a little. He didn't have a lot of talent around him the past couple of years. Now he does. Metcalf's great. Carson is good. He'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He does have talent. Yeah, what was it, like 3 years ago? He led the team in rushing touchdowns.
He had
like they had nobody else. But they have a team now. They have an offense. The defense, they lost Jamal Adams. I don't know how long he's out for.
Yeah,
he's a pulled groin. That hurts. But the defense wasn't playing well anyway.
Right.
But that team is good. But I said that at the beginning of the season. If there was one team that everyone thought, had a shot that could come back to the pack, they won 11 games last year, and they were +7 in points.
Yeah. Oh, it's all
a lot of games like this.
Wilson does a great job, and he's at that point right now, and I can see him still getting talks about the MVP in Week 8. I just hope he gets it, and it's going to be another hard year for him with the MVP. But it's a tough division. That's what it is. It's a tough division.
Well, they're 3-0 though.
They're 3-0, and those Rams are up there too, and San Fran's up there, and Arizona. They got a tough division. It's going to be tough, but I agree. It's Wilson. Wilson's been the best player, quarterback for a long time, and he has.
Well, yeah, but the guy who could challenge him, well, Mahomes is up for the MVP right now. Right now, Mahomes. You got to say Mahomes, but Wilson's in there, and you got to put Dak Prescott in there. You have to.
What about Rodgers?
Yeah, to a lesser extent, though, with the numbers.
Rodgers is unstoppable. Green Bay's winning. He's unstoppable. I'm not sure if he even threw an interception. But the guy
he doesn't throw interceptions. He doesn't throw interceptions ever.
Right. So, all this talk we talked in the beginning, all this talk at draft time, is Green Bay's going to be good? We don't think so. Is Rodgers done? Yes, Rodgers is done. We got a backup quarterback that hurts. What do you think?
Yeah, you and JP had Hurts playing in Week 5. I told you that.
And all of us got Green Bay not even a chance of winning the division, and they've been nothing but lights out. Even with hurt Adams, there have been lights out. That running game, the offensive line, Rodgers, maybe he's making one last big run.
I agree. Although I want to see them play somebody really good. The Saints, yeah, but Saints didn't have Thomas. Breeze can't throw the ball.
That's
anymore.
it. You nailed it right there.
He can't throw the ball. That's why Kamara is having such an insane season. He's hitting Kamara for 7 yards every play.
When you have
13 catches this week, last week, what do you have? I think at least 10. It's just the Kamara show, and Saints.
Keep it up. Keep it up. I have Kamara on 2 leagues. I'm fine with it. Keep that up.
Let's talk about the team that's going to win the Super Bowl, because we already know. You pronounced it yesterday or the day before that Tampa Bay is going to have 3 champions. That's it. We're 2 weeks into this season. We just started the baseball playoffs, and you have the Rays winning the Super Bowl, the World Series, and the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. I didn't say they will. They have a shot.
How do they have a shot in 3 games? After 3 games, how do they have a shot?
Tampa Bay's going. What Tampa Bay's going to do. Tampa Bay's just warming up. They're going to take that division easy. I'm worried. I'm more excited about the Tampa.
The division does suck. Yeah. Now
I'm more worried about the baseball. That's what I'm worried. I think.
How could you listen? First of all, the way you said it, it's not like that hasn't happened even recently.
No, but still, it's still.
LA had the Rams, have the Dodgers, have the Lakers. It's not like that hasn't happened recently. Boston, 7 years ago, they won every sport.
Yeah,
they won. You just
have a shot at winning it all this year.
They don't have a shot. That's ridiculous. They have a shot. Everybody's got a shot right now. 3 games in, except for our teams. Except for our 2 teams, everybody's got a shot.
Not everyone. Cleveland, we got a lot of. We know who's making it to the playoffs. We know who to watch to see you in the Super Bowl.
Here we go. You're gonna do like you did last year. Where
No.
you're gonna pick who the Super Bowl teams are after week 4.
No, it's just the favorites are the favorites. You know, if you're gonna look at the stats and look at the betting odds,
But how do we know who the favorites are? The Bears are 3-0. We think they're gonna be in the championship game. Maybe.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
You don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't know anything, but Kansas City.
That's actually true. I don't know anything. What I do know is that we are terrible at picking games.
Yeah,
We are terrible at picking games, but we're going to do it right now. We're going to pick this.
Did I win? I know I picked the Jets, so I was way off there. I forget who else I picked.
I went 0-3, and you went 1-3.
What?
No, 1-2. 1-2. The week before, I went 3-0, and that's the only reason I salvaged something. But I'm 4-5 for the season, and you're 3-6.
Yeah, better than the Jets and the Broncos, though.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But just like the Jets and the Broncos, we both suck. I'm going to give you the first pick this week.
And
you go first.
All right. And
You won the week, so you go first.
All right. Here we go. So I'm going to go with I'm going to keep on going with it. And I'm going to go with the 4-0 team. I think Bears getting 2 over the Colts. I think it's Bears going to handle River.
It's 3.
It's 3. All right. It's 3. So I'm going to take the Bears. I'm going to keep riding them with the Bears and Foles magic and see what happens.
All right. I'm right there with you. Of course, right there against you. I am going to take the Colts -3. Colts have played well in every game. You know, the one game that they lost was against a team that we thought was going to suck, which doesn't suck. It's the Chargers. I think the Bears are playing kind of over the head. They could have lost to the Giants the second week. They should have lost this week. And it's just, nobody's picking the Falcons. You can't pick the Falcons. And I don't care how many points they get. You can't pick the Falcons. Nick Foles comes in, puts a little spark. Let's see what happens when he has to actually prepare for a game. And when the team prepares for him, let's see what happens this week. Colts have a good defense. Good defense. Rivers is playing well. They kind of have everything. They kind of have everything right now working. You look, they have 1 loss, 2-1. But this week, I think -3 against the Bears. I'm taking Indy.
And this will be a good, nice test for Foles and the Bears. If they for both teams, I think for both teams it'll be a good test. This will be a good game.
Yeah. All right. Second pick.
Here's another one. Here's another pick. We watched him on Monday night do very well. Beat up the Baltimore Ravens and held the Jackson to under 100 passing yards. Which it looks like you put pressure on the guy, on Jackson. He's not going to do well.
I was going to go the other way with this, but I don't know. I think it might be a push.
No, but I'm going with the Patriots over the Chiefs. Getting
7. Oh, you're taking the Patriots?
I'm taking the Patriots.
I was going to do that.
I'm taking the Patriots over the Chiefs, getting 7, and I think they may even win outright.
Listen, it's always been unbelievable with Belichick. How you just can't understand it. You just turn around and they're just good every single year. Every single year, they're good. Yeah, they're 2-1 right now. They're not 3. But the thing about Belichick teams is there's never been a case ever that they've gotten worse as the season went on. Ever. They've been 0-2. They've been 1-3. And they always get better as the season goes on. And they're starting out 2-1. I think they lose this week. I'm not picking this game, first of all. I'm just getting into your game. I think it's more of a push, but I don't hate that pick. I don't hate that pick at all.
Got to admit, though, Cam Newton is playing pretty well. For what we expect?
He's absolutely playing well. And the Chiefs' defense is not great. So he could definitely do something against them. But he's one-dimensional.
Yeah, he is.
One-dimensional. He's not going deep. He's running or hitting the short passes to Edelman. He's kind of one-dimensional right now, and that's not going to be tough to stop with a good defense. But listen, I never underestimate Belichick ever. My next pick. All right, yeah, I'm going to go with this team. Let's see. They upset special last week. They lost. I don't know how they lost, but I still think they're good. I don't believe in the Panthers. I'm taking the Cardinals. Cardinals are -3.5 over Carolina.
Wow, that's it?
Yeah, exactly. Panthers are playing well. They are playing better than we thought. Thought they'd be one of the worst teams in the league. They are 1-2, but they're not playing. They're not anyway. They're not in the league of the Giants and the Broncos and the Jets. Like, they're not playing bad. They can beat the Cardinals. I don't think so. I think that they come out with the chip on their shoulder now. Kyler Murray's amazing. He had a touchdown run the other day. I think it was like a 5-yard run where he just bounced to the outside and juked the safety. I think the guy fell down and in the end zone. He's unbelievable. He really is. Small, but he's unbelievable. He has the arm. He has the legs. He's just got to get comfortable, and he'll be an MVP candidate every year. I was wrong about him, of course, but I'm taking the Cardinals -3.5.
Unless something's really wrong, I can't see the Cardinals not covering that.
Right.
I mean, Bridgewater is playing good. He's playing a good season. He's playing accurate more than anything. He's a very good quarterback. But they're without McCaffrey, and I was really surprised last week. But this week, I can't see Arizona losing to them, and I can't see Arizona not blowing them away with that offense.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. And my third and final one, it's another upset. I don't know why I have so much hope, and I always talk good about this, and I always talk bad about this quarterback, but some reason I like the Eagles over the Niners this week.
That was my pick. Yeah, me too.
I just don't. I don't know. Wentz is such a good if he's healthy, but the offensive line is really bad, and he don't have nobody around him.
I looked. I'm going to send you after the show. I'm going to send you a text of all the players that are on. We talk about how many players got hurt for the Jets and Broncos. The whole offensive line got hurt for the Eagles,
and
all the receivers,
yeah.
and his tight end Goddard is out now. He's got Ertz. That's it.
Backs finally,
And
it's. I think because the defense is beat up a little bit, and I think the Eagles could slide through this one.
The 49ers defense is beat up.
Yeah,
man.
I think they could do this. I mean, Wentz, yes, is having a horrible year, but I can't put it past him. It's not his fault. And I think they get it together, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. That's why I would take the Eagles getting 7.
+7.
I could see a 17-13 game.
Wow, you took all underdogs. So I got to take an underdog, man. I can't take all favorites.
There's one tomorrow night. You could always go with that underdog.
No. Not going there. Not going near that game just because, it's just they both suck. They both suck. I say it. They both suck. So who could you pick? The Cowboys have an incredible offense. The passing offense. They're not really running the ball. Yeah. Incredible passing offense. But they have no defense. None. And they get in shootouts. And if the other team has any semblance of a defense, then they lose. If you could hold the Cowboys to 30 points, you're going to score more than 30 on them. And they're going against the Browns tomorrow night, and the Browns have weapons. They run the ball over everybody. They got 2 running backs that are having insane years. They come out and they pound Chubb. When Chubb gets his, like 90 yards in the first half, then they start throwing in Hunt with the swing passes, and he ends up with 70 yards receiving, and they each get a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Last week, I think Chubb got 2, and Hunt got at least 1, maybe 2. They beat the hell out of you. And they also have pretty good wide receivers in Landry and Beckham. If Mayfield could keep his head on and not make the big mistake in the red zone, which he has been making for the past 2 years, they're going to beat this Dallas team. They are +5 against Dallas. And, I don't see it. Listen, can Dallas win by 3 coming back with that offense? Maybe. But I think that the Browns are going to outscore them.
Wow. I I agree with you with the no defense, and Browns could take advantage of it. And let me tell you something. You hit it. If Browns win this game, they're 3-1.
Yeah.
We're not talking about them, but yeah, they lost the first game, and right after the first game loss, everybody said, "Oh, they're the Browns. They're the Browns. They're the Browns." Well, they won. They won.
Listen, they got blown out by the Ravens.
Right.
They got blown out by the Ravens.
By a Super Bowl contender. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not a Super Bowl team.
It's a division game.
Team, yeah. They could win 8-9 games. They could do this. Quiet.
I think so. I think they could win this week. Dallas just has no defense. They have no defense, and they have talent on that defense too. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's crazy how that defense is just like shit, and everybody thought their defense was going to be really good this year, and they showed up so far, and all the bets out there.
We'll close it out. We got to talk about what's going to happen with this. You had the Titans played the Vikings last week, and you had a couple players test positive for the Titans. I had heard it was up to 8 players at one point, but then they dropped it down to 3 players. The Vikings, nobody tested positive.
Great.
None.
Yeah. None.
So it wasn't transmitted during the game, which it's still, I think, hard to do that when they're on the field. They're not they're tackling each other, but it's in passing. Where if you're in the locker room, if you're you're going to see your teammates, you're going to pass it to a lot more likely. So Titans, a couple of them had it. They've already said that the game's not going to be on Sunday, but they have to play the game. Oh, it's absolutely not. This is not baseball. This is not hockey. This is not basketball. You can't just drop the game in on an off day, unless these teams. And this happened before. I think it was the Dolphins and the Jets, or Dolphins and somebody where there was a hurricane, or Tampa Bay. One of those Florida teams there was a hurricane, and they moved the game. The team they were playing had the same bye week, and they moved it to the bye week. Well, that's not it. That's not the case this week. So the only thing they could do with this game is they would have to, if they didn't play it this week, they would have to add a week, and they'd have to have them play after the season,
which is no good.
And that doesn't work. Because they're going to push this game to either Monday, Tuesday, and worst case scenario Wednesday, and they're going to make them play 2 games in 4 days. You do it when you play Sunday and Thursday.
Right.
You do it when you play Sunday and Thursday. So playing Tuesday and Sunday, that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. It's just a shortened week that you didn't think you were going to have, but that's the world we live in. They have to do it. There's no way they're not going to play this game. And it's going to count for your fantasy. Don't worry about it. I know your whole team is on these 2 teams. But
well, this is what I have to say about it. No matter what we think in our opinion about this whole situation, the last 6 months we've been going through, we knew what was going to come on with this. I mean, people are going to test positive. They're sweating. And we know this. What I don't understand is like baseball, everything that they could cancel games. They do doubleheaders. That was fine. Right. But Atlanta Falcons player tested positive, and they said, "Don't come there. Everybody go home." And they still played. I don't understand why they can't take the 4 players and say, "Look, guys, stay home. We're going to go play in practice." They're playing among each other, so either they got it among each other, or they didn't catch it, and they're going to go on. I mean, why can't they just go on with everything and say, "Look, 4 players, you're staying home for 2 weeks or a week, and we're moving on and go"?
I think the problem is that more than one player tested positive, and they shut the practices down. Where in Atlanta, it was 1 player and nobody else. Right. So they could just take him out. And now they want to see today and tomorrow, see if anyone else has it. Because the Vikings, they tested yesterday, no positives. Tested again today, no positives. So their game's on. Their game is on against Houston. But they're going to play the game. I can't believe they play.
They're going to play. I'd say probably Tuesday they'll play. And the only other thing they were talking about is the last game of the year, they would switch. They would take the last game of the year and bring it down to the bye week because of Pittsburgh. It was reversed, and how they talked about both teams had a bye week the same time as another bye week, and they would take the last games and bring it to the bye week.
So they would have to then switch the schedule.
They would just take the last game and bring it to their bye week because the teams that they were playing, or Pittsburgh was playing, had the same bye week, so it wasn't losing.
So that would mean that they would have Texans would have to play.
this would be a bye week for them.
For who?
For Pittsburgh would be a bye week for them, and then for
What about the Titans?
What's that?
What about Tennessee?
Same thing. Titans. I think Titans was Baltimore, or Pittsburgh was Baltimore, and Titans was Cincinnati. The way they programmed it, and they were talking about it, they would bring the last game to their bye week that they had in week 8, and use this as a bye week and play this game the last week of the year. They were switching back and forth of a division thing, what they were talking about. And they said that's not going to work because of playoff scenarios.
So the Steelers would play the Browns the last week.
And they got the same bye week?
And Tennessee would play the Texans.
Something happened with switching to bye weeks because everything ended up the right way or anything like that. And they would push this game for the last game of the year.
Okay, so I get you. So so it works if the Texans and Baltimore have and Texans and Browns have the same bye week,
right?
Then they would take those games, week 17 games, and play them during that bye week.
That bye week is that.
This would be the Steelers' bye week, and week 17 would be the bye week for those two teams.
Exactly. They said that's another scenario they were talking about.
That's amazing that works out. That the two opponents have the same bye week.
Right. That it's just weird, like how they were talking about it. But they said it's so much work, they don't have enough time to do everything. So they said it's probably going to be Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. They said to move things around. It's not like they have to worry about fans, so that's out of the question. So
yeah, or travel fans, like all that stuff, they don't have to worry about. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. So my thing is, we all knew this was coming. NFL, I think, wasn't prepared properly, but they're doing a good job handling it. I think they should have had a week or two before the playoffs started open. So just in case something happened like this and they was played at the end, they had a week or two available. But they're handling it. They're handling it right. They're taking tests every day, and they're gonna play Monday or Tuesday. I think most likely Tuesday. They're gonna get that extra.
I think they'll play Monday.
Yeah.
I think they'll play Monday.
Double header, double Monday.
Yeah, they did that before. They did that for another hurricane situation where they had to move the game from Sunday to Monday night, and they had two games, and one game wasn't televised. The one game was only televised locally.
They said one of the Hurricanes. You're right on that. And then
I think it was Miami.
The last time they had to do that kind of scheduling and move bye weeks was 9/11. They said the 9/11 they had to take 2 or 3 weeks off, and they said that they had to schedule stuff like that. And they took bye weeks. They switched it to the end. They switched everybody around real quick. But that affected audience, which this is easier because there is no audience, so they could.
There's no tickets they got to worry about.
Yeah.
And speaking of tickets, I got a gift this week from my wife because, as everyone knows, no wedding this week. Got canceled.
What gift?
Islanders season tickets for the new arena.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So I'm ready. I'm ready. My one team that's been winning.
Right. That's good. Season ticket holder for the Islanders. And that's the whole season. That's like they play the new.
No, it's not going to be a whole season. I'll get a package. I would never get a whole season. You're not going to go to 40 games. Baseball, baseball I usually get 20.
Yeah.
And hockey I'll get probably something like that, 15.
Cool. Good gift.
They're moving like 12 minutes from my house.
Oh, this is a brand new stadium opening up this year?
Next year.
Next year?
Well, think about this though. This year is like what we would say next year, season,
right? Starts
in 2 months.
Yeah.
December 1st starts the new season. So it's like one big season. The following season, 2021, is when they move into the new arena.
Right. Yeah,
because December 1st is going to, and I think what's basketball going to be January 1st or something
January
like that?
1st. Yep. Yeah. Basketball end in next week, and they'll start January 1st.
Yeah. Well, all right. Good job this week.
Yeah.
I love the condensed football-only show. I really do. But next week we'll have a lot to talk about because JP will be back. Everybody,
back.
JP back in the house. I don't know if anyone noticed the new logo that we put together, the new intro we had. Starting to put a little work into the show. Obviously, not too much, but
Little by little.
Yeah. We'll see you next week. I'm gonna enjoy my weekend. I am going away to Long Island for the weekend after the Hamptons. I had to cancel my Aruba trip.
You did cancel it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it would have been too much of, And, in retrospect, I probably would have still had a great time because, right now we're over it. We're just looking for the new year, the new date. But all of this better be over by then. That's all I got to say. But I don't want to get into that. It's just going to aggravate me.
Yep.
We do not live in a democracy anymore. This is...
Well, all we know is JP will be here next week.
Yes.
So everybody get ready. So
yes.
we can have
I will get a good night's sleep the night before because my energy just gets sapped. But it's great. We'll see everyone next week. So long, guys.
So long, everyone.
Thanks for watching.